Welcome back to the Frozen Forum podcast. I'm your host, Alex Nagy, with your co-host, Nathan DaCosta. How is it going, Nathan? Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays to those who celebrate Christmas. How's it going,
Yes.
Nathan?
Merry Christmas. I'm doing so good right now. Man, would have been nice to come onto this week with our first week of 3 wins, but we'll take 2. Don't get me wrong, we will take 2 wins out of this week.
2 wins is pretty good, eh? And I mean, look, it's really hard to win games against the refs. It just is, like when we're playing against a group of blind people who all can't see when penalties are occurring against our team and are calling some of the softest calls I've ever seen in my life against us. I mean, like, it's going to be a tough battle, but look, it was a good game. I thought we played really well. I thought we generated a lot of chances. Patrick Laine getting somewhat injured at some point in time is not great. I wonder if they just kind of pulled him out because he was getting targeted a little bit, and there's no reason to put him in a spot where he's going to get injured, right?
Yeah, I was thinking that a little bit too. And plus they were, at that point, I think they were up a little bit. So
Yeah. I mean, it was up and down game. I mean, what do you think of those Detroit games, though? Man, what's wrong with the Detroit Red Wings?
bro.
Like, aren't they supposed to be like 3 years ahead of us in this rebuild?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on there, but we're proving that Kent Hughes might be the GOAT. I think that's what that says.
Might be. I mean, hey, it's not just him. We
Yeah.
got this other guy up top. It's Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton, right?
Right.
Jeff Gorton,
Yep.
remember, came from the Rangers. And that Rangers organization that he put together went all the way to the conference finals, like twice, right?
Yep.
And
True.
since he's left, well, we'll cover some of that and more in our Frozen Forum Flash today. Do you want to go right now?
Yeah, let's go right into the Flash.
Let's go right now. I got some fun questions for you. We've got 10 questions. I'll give you 30 seconds each. And let's just, it's the second last one of the year that we're going to record. So let's make it good. Episode 19, our Frozen Forum Flash starts now. Question number 1. Nathan, through the last 3 games, there were 9 goals scored against the Montreal Canadiens. Mike Matheson was on the ice for 6 of them. How many of the 6 were Matheson's fault?
I remember at least 3 of them being directly his fault. But by the context of the question, I'm going to assume all 6 of them were his fault. But yeah, Matheson's got to step it up. He's one of the key proponents of why goals are getting scored against us. He's just not in position. I mean, we've talked about it for, I feel like, 5 or 6 weeks now. He just looks slow. He's
just bad. And look, just as a side note to that, we can talk about this later. According to Evolving Hockey, he is a 15 overall. That's 15 out of 100 in the NHL, which is not great. Like 100 out of 100 is good, right? Just for context. Anyways, question number 2. Considering that the Columbus Blue Jackets needed the extra motivation to even want to win the game against us last night, how right was Patrick Laine when he said he didn't like the culture of losing in Columbus?
I mean, he was right. I mean, it's like what was going on in Columbus was like what we're seeing with Buffalo. I mean, it was like that in Columbus for like a decade as well. And I don't blame Laine for wanting to go. It gave him a little bit more motivation last night, which got them the dub. But I also don't mind that he sat out the rest of the game. I don't think it's that big of an injury. But yeah, he was definitely right about that.
Perfect. Question number 3. The Habs acquire Alexander Carrier from the Nashville Predators for Justin Barron. Did you A, like the trade, and B, like him in his first 3 games with the team?
At first, I had no idea who he was, to be honest. I was like, I messaged you, Alex, right away, and I was like, I saw the trade, and I was like, is this a win for us? And you were like, yes, but I didn't really believe you. So once I saw him play those first few games, like he looks solid. I'd say he's definitely a better overall player. He has a little bit more awareness than Justin Barron. Yeah, I don't mind him at all. I like that trade.
Beautiful. Question number 4. According to my research, the Habs are the first team in NHL history to go from a 3 goalie rotation to a 1 goalie rotation in the same calendar year. Do you think that the 10th straight start for Samuel Montembeault was too much last night, or did the team just let us down?
Yeah, Montembeault's got to he needs a break. I mean, we need a second goaltender. I'm assuming Primo's still on the bench, but at this point I know Montembeault's starting. So the coaching staff has got to figure it out. Like, we can't have Primo play again. We've seen what he's been doing for the duration of the season. We need a different goalie. But Montembeault's going to be playing because I mean the Canadiens have climbed their way up the rankings a little bit, and we are finally getting a chance. But until we get a new goalie, Montreal is going to be starting.
I like it. Question number 5, the last one about the Montreal Canadiens. What is on your Christmas wish list for the Habs?
I would love, absolutely love to see an Arbor Jackeye hat trick in the new year. That would be incredible, bro. Because this guy, we've talked about this too as well. He's the enforcer for our team. But I know if you've ever heard his story, like if you've ever listened to his story on the Spit and Chicklets podcast, like it's a really inspirational story. And I don't want him to just be this guy that's the enforcer, even though that's what he is right now. I want him to be like one of our most skilled defensemen. And I think he can do it because he has the work ethic. Like that's how he got to the NHL. And if he can have a game like that, that'll boost his confidence significantly. And yeah, I think that'll get him where we want to see him.
I think Jackeye did score his first goal this week, but I like it. I like the hat trick wish. We'll move into the NHL questions. Question number 6. Kaapo Kakko, a second overall pick from 2019, was traded from the Rangers to the Seattle Kraken. Last night, the longest tenured player of the Rangers, Chris Kreider, was scratched. What's the next thing the Rangers will try to get the team to start playing well?
Next up, they're gonna trade Zibanejad or something. They're never doing that. But I honestly don't know what they should do next. Like, you're getting rid of one of your stars. I know you have to do something to try and rebuild there, but man, that's too brutal. You're paying not Sorokin. You're paying the fuck's his name, Shesterkin, like a shitload of money. He's not performing. You got rid of Kaapo Kakko, and now you bench Chris Kreider. I'm going to drop him, by the way. Chris Kreider's done nothing. I don't know what they're doing. Are they calling up guys from the minors or something? I haven't really been paying attention too much.
I don't know either. I just know that they're running out of things that they can do. We'll go into question 7, though, because we want to speak a little bit about Kaapo Kakko. The New Jersey Devils arena played a video during the Devils-Rangers game of Rangers fans cheering when the Devils picked Jack Hughes first overall, allowing the Rangers to get Kaapo Kakko. Are the team's media just getting better at making the game more entertaining?
It must be. It must be. I mean, we see it on the social media accounts too. I don't know if you saw the Flames post yesterday. It was Happy Holidays by the Flames. And you know those shit posts that the NFL teams do? The Flames did one of those, and it was pretty funny, I gotta say. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see that they're doing all this new, Gen Z type of promotions that you see online and now even in games. I'm sure all the older fans are like, what is this? if they saw it on social media and that in the arena.
Yeah, these guys are looking up the scoreboard going, what is this? No, it was pretty funny though. They also panned into Jack Hughes right after that, who then smiled on camera. He was trying really hard not to, but he laughed. Question number 8. In the Flyers-Red Wings game, a ref raised his arm to signal a penalty against the Red Wings, and then subsequently put his arm down. Torts was furious. Was this the first instance where Torts was actually right?
In this season, maybe. Ever? No. But yeah, I've never seen that before. As a ref, if you're making a call, you got to stick by it. He's in the right. He's definitely in the right here. Yeah, that just cannot be happening. I mean, if there was some sort of instant replay like the NFL now has, where they can overturn calls quickly, then sure. But we don't have that in the NHL. So if you're making a call, you got to stick by it.
I like it. Question number 9. Do you believe the media who say that there is bad blood between Elias Pettersson and JT Miller?
No. I think the medias are kind of pushing it out of proportion there. Well, what do you think?
All I'll say is JT Miller has not been playing well this season, and I need him to start because I just traded for him in fantasy. Well, with that, we'll go to question number 10. This is a fun one for you. At what point should Matt Rempe just be kicked out of the league for good?
Dude, as soon as I saw that hit, I was like, this guy's at least getting 5 games. There's no way he's not getting less than 5. Neck or elbow to the neck of somebody else. That's ridiculous. But when is he going to be just kicked out of the league? He's never going to get kicked out of the league, but I just don't, he's not a very skilled hockey player, so I don't see the Rangers are going through this rebuild anyway, so why would they keep Matt Rempe? They're probably going to get rid of him too. And I think I read a stat. He's played 22 actual NHL games, and he's been kicked out of 8 of them.
Well, he's
Or he's
had
had
game
major.
misconducts out of 3 of them, and he's been suspended for 11 games now in total.
Oh yeah, yeah, ridiculous. I mean,
Not a
I
bad
don't see.
ratio, eh? 22 for 11.
Yeah, 50%. That's what they like. But yeah, the Rangers are not going to keep him.
Well, that concludes our Frozen Form and Flash. Do you want to go straight into our 3 stars of the week, Nathan?
Yeah, let's go into it. Okay.
Who
Um,
who do you have? I want to know. I've got one guy. I won't lie. This week was a little tough. I had some guys, and then I don't know. This last game, I didn't love out of some of them.
yeah, I thought I had a solid three before the Blue Jackets game, but now I'm not too sure. I'm just gonna say because I mean he's on a better goal pace than Matthews right now. Number one, Patrick Laine, 8 goals in 10 games played, and Matthews has I think it's 11 goals in 21 games played. So who's the GOAT? I don't know. You guys can decide that one. Patrick Laine is my first star of the week. Star two, for how many games he's been playing, Sam Montembeault, I have no complaints with him this week. I mean, the 3 goals that the Red Wings scored that first game, I don't really think were his fault. Yeah, Montembeault, second star. Third star, absolutely no idea. I'll leave that one for you.
Give me Emil Heineman.
Okay.
I have a stat here which I need to find because the goals per 60 on this guy is actually crazy. I think Emil Heineman right now is something like 4th in goals for per 60 minutes played, which is kind of ridiculous. I gotta pull it up, but like 4th, like this guy's playing 10 minutes a night and has 8 goals on this. Is it 8 or 9 goals now on the
Mm-hmm.
season? He scores 2 this week, 1 in each Detroit game. Wicked shot. And he's
Yep.
still not being put on like the first or second line. Like he's playing 10 minutes a night, and he's doing this. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, actually. I think he's, what, like 6th for rookie scoring as well or something? He's tied for
Yeah,
6th.
he is. Which like I don't even know. I didn't even know he was the rookie. Like you know how some of these guys just kind of like sit around the AHL for a little bit. Like he's not even that old. Like this guy's like, um, he's what 23? Like he was born in 2001.
Yeah, I know.
This is exactly when we're supposed to be seeing good things from him. He has a wicked shot. He's got crazy work ethic. Like this guy be going into the corners, taking these pucks out. Like no, it's I love it. I love him. I
We've
love
got,
every
we got
part
a,
of his game.
yeah, we got a team of young dogs, bro. Even if it's not this season, like, very exciting future.
Man, Michael Hage, Ivan Demidov. I'm telling you, like this team is so exciting. As soon as we get Mike Matheson out of here, as soon as we get David Savard out of here, this team is I'm sorry, and Christian. Well, you know what? Christian Dvorak actually has not looked bad. That line, I don't know what you thought about it. Christian Dvorak, Josh Anderson, Brent Gallagher. I've actually really liked that line. I
I
thought they're
think it
doing a
could.
lot of good things.
I think it could do without Dvorak, but Anderson and Gallagher, I've been liking.
Very fair, very fair. I mean, at this point, I think this is where when you trade Dvorak, you got to bring Owen Beck up, put him on the second line, and put Kirby Doc down on the third. I don't know what the Habs are trying to do with the second line. Like they've put Alex Newhook, the guy who has 0 assists through the first 30 whatever games of the season, and Kirby Doc, a guy who's been struggling with Patrick Laine. It's like Laine is going to try to score, right? Like this guy is the guy who needs the pucks, right? You've got a guy who has not had a single assist, right, which is not conducive to getting somebody else to score. And you've got a guy who hasn't been playing great. I mean, I think Kirby's been a little better. I don't know what you thought about his play this week, but
Yeah, he looked a little bit better this week, but yeah, that's true. I mean, that's probably why we've seen all of his goals come on the power play so far this season. Makes sense when you put a star like that out with Lane Hudson, Nick Suzuki that can create some space for you. Good things will happen.
well, exactly, right? And it's like at this point, I know we're so in love with the whole Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield bromance, but like, can we change that up? Can we like? I actually think Caulfield's had some really good games the last few games. He looked phenomenal last night. He buzzing all around the ice, making some crazy stick handles, like all this kind of stuff. I just want to see him on a line where like he's not the guy going to the corners. Like I need him to be the Patrick Laine as well, where like he's going and just kind of getting to the right spots to be able to score. I think Patrick Laine with Nick Suzuki. I mean, Nick Suzuki the best playmaker on this team easily. Like, but he's a
Mm-hmm.
point per game, right? Like he's actually on a point per game pace right now, which
Yep.
is for first time in his career if he could do it. 82 points, man. Put it on the board. Like it's gonna happen.
It's looking plausible. And we're gonna replay your clip again towards the end of the season too of you saying Lane Hudson getting 60.
You remember your
I'm
reaction to that? You were like, I don't know about that. Yeah. Now you're like, man, he's gonna get 70. You know what I mean? Like this kid like scores a goal last night. That goal, by the way,
It was a bit of a fluky goal, but we'll take it.
well, it was one of those where he was looking to get a tip from Slavkovsky or from Armia, I guess. Armia was the
Armia,
one
yeah.
going to the front of the net, and it was just the Columbus player. I don't remember who got his stick in the way first. Like it didn't matter who he tipped it off of, right? The difference is it's a goal, not an assist. So Laner's up to 2. He is the fastest player. I think he's at 20 something assists, 23 assists on the season. He's the second fastest defenseman in NHL history to get to that number in assists. That's a higher than Quinn Hughes. Saw some really, really cool stats. I mean, obviously, like the future of this organization is so bright, and that's why we're excited.
100%.
I wanted to talk to you about this trade, though.
Which one? The Carrier?
Carrier trade, yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot of people are looking back because obviously we get Justin Barron in a trade from the Colorado Avalanche in exchange for Arturi Lehkonen. Okay.
Mhm.
A lot of people are looking at that trade and going, man, we lost that trade. Like, that was a bad trade. Should never have done it. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have like too much thoughts on that. Lehkonen was good, but I mean, he was kind of wasn't worth it.
So the question for you, right, is like at the time, Arturi Lehkonen was 26, I think. And so the question there in that moment was, do you sign him to another deal, or do you take whatever trade value you can get for him right now and ship him off to another team? And the reason I ask is because the big discussion happening online is whether we do the same with Jake Evans. Do we trade Jake Evans towards the end of the season? This is his last year on a contract, right? You could easily extend him if you want to, right? I mean, I think it's the same conversation, right? Like, we traded Lehkonen back then. Do we trade Jake Evans this year?
Lehkonen had so much like untouched potential, and who knows if that would have came out in Montreal. You know what I mean? So maybe like Jake Evans has 8 on the year. I don't know how many assists he has. It could be a Lehkonen situation, but I don't think he has as much upside as Lehkonen did. So I would not be opposed to the trade.
I'm gonna propose something to you, right?
Okay.
You can tell me if it sounds stupid, as most of my ideas usually are. I think, looking at it, you want Nick Suzuki to be the oldest guy on this team. Like, long term. Right? He's not anymore. Patrick Laine is there now, right? I think Patrick Laine is like a year older, right? But I think looking long term, that's what the goal should be. Jake Evans is older. At the end of the day, if you sign him to a 3-year contract, which is what you would sign him to, right? He's going to be 31 by the time we're consistently competing for a playoff spot. He's going to be like if you try to extend him again, he's going to be 31, 32, 33, 34. Like, I just think that what he brings to the game, while it's been great and he's developed it really, really well, and, he's that perfect, like, depth center, like whether third line or fourth line, works hard, kills penalties. I think he's too old. I think at the end of the day, you have enough time that you can bring up an Owen Beck and develop him into the same kind of player, or bring up, whatever other centers you have in the system. You know what I mean? Or even like at the end of the day, if you really need like a veteran center for that fourth line, you can make those kinds of trades at the trade deadline, right? To bring in some kind of experienced fourth line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, I think you just sell. You go like, hey, who's going to give the best offer? You're going to give me a first round pick or like a second and a prospect? Like, done.
Interesting. I know Jake Evans, though, he's a pretty big, like all the fans love him, right? That'd be a tough decision for Ken Hughes. In my opinion, I think he would be best to be traded, like I said before, but I also would not be surprised at all if he just gets extended for like 2 years. 2 years would be fine. 2 years would be fine with me. But like you're saying, yeah, let's get these young guns in.
Like, you got to develop at some point, and I don't know. I think next year they really want to start pushing for something,
Yeah.
And I think if you're really going to start pushing for something, as much as it is like cheaper to sign Evans to, a multi-year deal maybe. First of all, I don't know how much he would ask for, right? Like he's making like what 1.7 right now. He's definitely making more than that on his next contract, right? Like he's the perfect depth center. I don't know. I don't see it. And again, going back to my other point, right, is like at the end of the day, if you really value that kind of player, you can always trade for it, right? Like he's not like he's not a Patrick Laine, right? Who has some quality about him that makes him completely indispensable, right?
Yeah,
Like
he's replaceable, unfortunately.
he is, right? And maybe it won't be exactly the same. Maybe whoever comes in won't be able to score shorthanded goals like he just did. Well, the last 2 games he scored breakaway goals. One of them was shorthanded. This guy is crazy on the breakaway, by the way.
Yep.
If Cole Caulfield would learn something, because I swear he missed a net on a breakaway last night.
Yeah.
I love them. That's what I'm trying to say, right? But I loved Arturi Lekkinen, and I look back on that trade, and it's the right move. At the end of the day, is Arturi Lekkinen, as you said, is he going to go off on a Montreal Canadiens team that doesn't have a Nathan McKinnon, doesn't have Valerie Nichushkin, doesn't have a Mikko Rantanen? No, not a chance.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
we've got to build it. Got to build it like they did. Got to have a team squad around you.
And McKinnon at the end of the day is the oldest guy there, right? Like it's McKinnon and Rantanen and because what's his name is retired is definitely retired now, right? He's not still injured, is he? Gabriel Landeskog.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, like he's either still injured or he's actually officially retired. I can't remember.
I'm not 100% sure there. Man, one thing I wanted to get your thoughts on, not Habs related, was last night. I don't know if you saw it. Nikita Kucherov with possibly the dirtiest play I've seen him ever make on another guy who can get under your skin, Matthew Tkachuk. Did you see this?
I saw the hit.
What'd you think? Dirty or not dirty?
That's not a question. I actually don't think it's... I think the question should be deserved or not deserved.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember this, but there's a sequence where Matthew Tkachuk, I don't remember what the game was, hit Kucherov into the boards. Pretty weird play, whatever. And then started cross-checking him when he was on the ice. Like Kucherov's like on the ice, and Tkachuk is just laying it into him. 4 penalties from it or something like that. Something ridiculous. Look, the NHL is a fast game. I don't think Nikita Kucherov went into that situation going, I want to kill this guy. But I also don't think he went, oh no, I need to get out of the way.
That's fair.
It looks bad. I'm not a fan of like, look, when it happened to Patrick Laine, right? You had some no-name whatever who like is never going to play in the NHL. This is Nikita Kucherov and Matthew Tkachuk, right? Like
2 dogs for the respective teams.
It's exactly like these are 2 very, very high quality players. I mean, we'll see if he gets suspended for it. I'm assuming he's got some kind of hearing today for it, or this week. I actually don't know how the NHL works. We're on a 3-day break, everybody. For everybody who doesn't know, the NHL doesn't play today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Or not Saturday. I guess not Saturday. It's Thursday.
Thursday,
right in the middle of the week. For those of you who are watching this will come out on Thursday, so you'll already have had 2 of the days of the break.
Yep. Yeah,
No, that was a crazy hit though. Like you look at that and it goes.
His ACL is definitely just in pieces right now. I'd be surprised if Matthew Tkachuk comes back in less than 2 months. Like, because he's a guy who can take his pain too, and he was like struggling off the ice. So
yeah, oh yeah. No, I mean the question is whether or not he's back for the 4 Nations face-off to play with his brother.
Oh. Right.
And the better question there is if he actually is injured, is if Cole Caulfield can get called up.
Wow.
I don't think he can. I'm mostly certain that the rosters are set and whatever happens. But like I'm sure there are some kind of clauses where they can replace an injured player.
That could be interesting. Because Team USA was supposed to have 2 pairs of brothers, right? The Tkachuks and the Hughes. Now it could just be the Hughes brothers.
Yeah. Man, that New Jersey Devils team, eh? Like, I don't know if you saw that pass from Luke Hughes to Jack Hughes.
It's just natural chemistry, bro. That one's natural
Cultivated chemistry.
But the rest of that team also is just so in sync all the time. I mean, they walked all over the Rangers yesterday. Mind you, it was Jonathan Quick in net, who is by no means near his peak anymore.
No, not even close. I mean, he's close to Jake Allen, I think. You could compare the two goaltenders. No, I mean, what we've been saying about the Jersey Devils for the last few years has been if they could figure out their goalie situation, they would be a very scary team. Jacob Markstrom is a very scary goaltender.
Bro, he's good. But yesterday he got a shutout, which is cool. He got 12 shots, and only like 3 or 4 of them were like scoring opportunities.
That's actually like, sorry, just reflection of the Rangers is like
that is
12
ridiculous.
shots. That's awful
For a team
I'm telling
looks insane on paper.
I think the Rangers need to go look at the St. Louis Blues of 2019, and they need to figure out exactly what Doug Armstrong did in St. Louis, because that team turned it around. They were in almost the exact same spot as the Rangers right now, and they pushed back, got into a playoff spot, and then killed. And that's what this team is capable of. I don't remember what St. Louis did that year in order to make them successful, but the Rangers need to go look back at that because that's the best case study for this kind of thing.
And it was less than a decade ago, so it's still applicable.
Very, very applicable. Yes, we're not looking back at 1972 when whatever.
Yeah,
It's like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to say. Almost 6 years ago.
Yeah, Rangers got to figure it out. The Buffalo Sabres, shout out.
Oh my God,
Brendan
they won a
Clark,
game!
Shout out Nathan Lipinski, shout out Will Jarrett. Buffalo Sabres finally win a game. There you go. 7-1-2 to the Islanders. They're scoring on Sorokin like that.
And so if the Sabres, they score about 3 a game, right? That means they're going to get shut out the next 2, right?
Yeah, probably. They're going to get shut out and they're going to lose like 6-0 each game.
Man, the fall of this team is actually ridiculous. This team is like competing for a playoff spot one day. They are third last in the league.
Unbelievable. What are we now?
Hey, you remember last week when I told you that we had made our way up to 6th last? We are now 7th last.
Dude. Climbing.
I'm telling you, 1 spot a week. We will be there in 11 weeks. Like, we're playing good hockey though. I mean, you look at our last 10. We're 6-4-0, right? Now, last night is a game where you want it to just get to overtime, right? And that breakdown, again, it's all Mike Matheson's fault. But that breakdown that leads to that goal is ridiculous, right? Like, you can't have that happen with 2 minutes left in the game.
And let it
that
Crow
should
Marchenko. Like Marchenko's the best player right now.
I went back. One of the goals that Detroit scored against us in that first game against Detroit. Now, obviously, we win that game, but I think it just highlights my problem that I have with Mike Matheson. Okay, this guy. I watched this replay of this goal, and I'm looking at it. And I'm like, man, Lane Hutson makes a lot of mistakes on this play. He's like trying to cover, he's trying to do whatever, and at the end of the play, like after the goal is scored, like Lane Hutson bangs his stick on the ice in frustration because like he knows he made mistakes, right? But then I'm like, and so I go past it, and I'm like, okay, that was Lane's fault, whatever. And then I think for a second, I'm like, wait a second, there is a lot of time in between like when that was like a 2-on-1 and when that goal was scored. I wonder what Mike Matheson was doing. So I go back and watch the clip. And you look at Mike Matheson, right? And he's skating in, and the pass gets passed over, so he like reaches out with his stick, and it's somewhere else, so he kind of stops skating, and the guy's wide open that he's supposed to be covering, right? The guy's wide open, gets the pass, and puts it in the net. And it's like you look back at that, and you're like, wow, Lane Hutson's really mad because he feels like he made a mistake, because it looks like he made a mistake, because in the moment, he's the one in front of the guy who scored the goal. But, like, Mike Matheson is not doing anything, like, at all. Like, he's just standing there.
I know, man.
Like, last night there was a goal, one of the goals against us by Columbus. Mike Matheson went down to, like, slide somewhere, took himself completely out of the play, and then it was like a 5-on-3. Like, it was on the power play or whatever, and then they scored within, like, 3 seconds because the guy in front of the net is wide open because there's nobody there to cover him because Mike Matheson isn't there. It's like, if this guy could just play defense, I looked it up. Like, I had to look it up. We have on Evolving Hockey, they have these tools, right? And what you can do is you can look at a specific player card, like a player card, and it'll tell you their percentile. Okay, when I tell you this guy is a 15 overall, like A, I'm not kidding, but B is it's not even that. Ready? Offensively, it says he's a 57th in percentile. So among defensemen, 57th percentile. Defensively, 7th percentile. That means 93% of defensemen are better at defense. I then looked up.
That's what we've.
I then looked up David Savard, who we haven't been happy with because David Savard, he's old, he doesn't move very fast, whatever. David Savard is a 30 overall and has a defensive score of 44. That is like what is that? 7 to 44? That's what, like 6 times better than Mike Matheson?
Yeah.
And is David Savard the guy who barely can skate?
Yeah, he got his first goal last night. Give him some credit. But yeah, our defensive situation.
No, so Savard did. Oh no, I've got no problem with Savard. Savard's been playing steady hockey the way it has to be played on a third pairing. Like if you're on a third pairing, you can be 44th percentile defensively, right?
But Mike Matheson, yeah, it's
you're horrendous. On the first freaking pairing. You're being put on in every single situation, and you suck.
We're gonna clip that one right there.
Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Please can't use. I don't care if you need to trade him and Caden Primo and a first round pick just to get rid of them. Get rid of them.
Yeah, I agree. His defending has been atrocious. It's not even just his defending. It comes back down to defending, but his offensive pushes put us in horrible positions where our forwards are deep in the offensive end, and then he's pinching, and then all of a sudden it's a 2-on-1, and it happens multiple times.
And this guy puts so many pucks into people's shin pads. Oh my god! I have a really big problem with forwards who shoot into the crest on the goalie's chest. Okay, if you're a forward and your shot hits the goalie in the middle of his chest, right? That's awful. That is the definition of a bad shot, okay? From a forward. From a defenseman, if you hit the guy who's trying to block the shot in front of you, like you can see this guy. He's standing right in front of you, right? He is right there. Where his legs are going to be, right? He can't, he's not some goaltender who's going to magically transform his legs into another position right as you shoot the puck. The least you could do is get it past that one guy. If it hits the second guy, whatever. Lane Hudson had one of those last night, right? He tried to put the puck on net. It hit the second guy's shin pads. It's okay, second guy. The first guy? Unacceptable.
You got to get past it. You got to get it past him. You got to step around him. You got to pass it to someone else. He can't be shooting like that. Breakaway city. That's what happens.
Yo, I have a question for you. Should Yoel Armia have been the replacement for Patrick Laine on that first power play unit after Laine went out? Because they put Yoel Armia. Now, I will say, it turns into a goal. Because, they go out there, and that was that tip that Hudson got. That was that Hudson goal. It wasn't a power play goal, because it's the end of the power play. But that power play unit was out there. But Yoel Armia? Man, I'm going to reenact what probably happened on the bench, okay? His assistant coach goes, yo, Marty, who do you want on the first power play unit, right? Marty goes, the Finnish sniper. They go, no, Laine is in the back thing. Marty's like, the Finnish sniper. Armia's like, can't be talking about me, right? He's like, the Finnish, get out there. The Finnish sniper. I want a Finnish sniper on the first power play unit. Get out. And that was probably how it happened.
Just replace the Finns with another Finn.
Yeah.
Give him some more prep before the Four Nation face-off. That's what he was thinking. Yeah.
Look, Yoel Armia is great defensively. I will say I love what he does defensively. I've never liked him offensively. I think he's been very, very lackadaisical at times. Defensively, he takes a lot of pride in that game. And I think that's why he's on the Four Nations team, right? They're going to put him on a fourth line, and he'll be a good fourth line player.
I would have liked to have seen Brendan Gallagher just standing in front of the net causing a ruckus. I think that would have been a much better play right there.
Much better play. Or Emil Heineman. I mean, it just goes back to Yep.
You put Caulfield back in his spot too, where Laine would be, and then he'll just do the job there. Yeah.
Were you saying Emil Heineman? Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted Emil Heineman, but yeah, Gallagher is a great take as well. I will say, looking at Caulfield shoot pucks from that like left dot now, I'm like, nah, put Laine there. like it's crazy how we
Yeah.
could be so high on Cole Caulfield. Like this kid is
Hmm.
fantastic, and I think he's still on a 50 goal pace for the year. But like Laine is just so much better. That shot is just
Laine
wicked,
has looked,
just wicked.
but he's so automatic too. Like he takes one little glance. It's
He's
not.
been the
I think we
best for
talked about this
fantasy,
last week.
bro.
It's not.
Uh,
Yeah.
and not only because of the goals,
Yeah.
man, he gets 7 shots a game. Like the thing that's been pissing me off a little bit about Cole Caulfield is that he doesn't shoot enough. Like this guy is a guy who can
Hmm.
shoot and has a super high shooting percentage, and he'll be like in places where he should be shooting and he tries to pass it. And it's like just get the puck on net, you know? Like pucks on net, buddy. Like that, I tell you guys this when I'm coaching. It's like pucks on net. That's how you win games.
Yeah.
Laine, literally
When you're coaching us, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, Laine just like takes that to heart, and he just anytime he's got the opportunity, boom shot, boom shot. The only time he doesn't, which I love this guy. We were up 5-1 against the Detroit Red Wings, and he was trying to pass it to get other people goals. You know, and it's like fine, I got no problem
Hmm.
with that. You know, pass the puck. We're up 5-1. Right when you're losing, it's a close game, whatever. This guy's gonna shoot like 10 times if he has to.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. But he's not just getting pucks on net; he's getting pucks in the net. It's not. It's not just on
True.
net.
Hey, I
Yeah.
mean, look, 3 or 4 of the goals he scored this year were not heading towards the net, and they just
Hmm.
deflected off of something random. I mean, that one that went through Sider's stick. Did you see that goal, bro?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Patrick Laine is taking a slap shot. It is gonna miss the net by 2 feet. It hits Sider's stick, snaps the stick in two, and deflects in a way that it goes in the net.
I did not see that one actually. I'll take a look at that clip
Like
after.
snaps the stick. Like you look back after. I mean, the second game that was in the first game we played against them. The second game we played against them, Laine took a similar looking slap shot and it broke Sider's stick again, but that one didn't go in. And so the announcers commented and was like, guess he used that one already. He can't do the same shot twice.
That's funny. You already know Maurice Sider's a little bit scared of Laine now. I mean, I'd be too. That guy can freaking launch that thing. So yeah.
All right. What else have you been following along? Hey, I wanted to talk quickly about that PWHL game this weekend. I don't know if you saw the final score, but the Montreal Victoire beat the Toronto Scepters in convincing fashion, I believe. I think it was like 7-5 or something like that. I think it was a good game. That goal, did you see that goal that I posted in my story?
I did. That was crazy goal. She like just break it down. Break it down.
You break it down because the text that I got from you after I sent it to you was, look, she probably learned this from me. And I went, Nathan, I've never seen you do this in my life.
Well, she was just flying down. She was flying down the ice, and what she got? She got like tripped up, and like she was on her knees, and just a little dangle in front of the net. Wasn't that it?
A little, it was the one where
Was
she
that the
got
goal?
across the thing. Yeah, it was the goal. So she goes left and then goes right through the legs, back through the legs, and then just snipes it. And it was like she's got the defender right on her, but like puts the
Oh
puck
yeah,
through her stick, through her legs, around her snipe, and it's in the net. It's like beautiful,
yeah. I remember that.
beautiful.
I also remember teaching her that. So yeah, big shout out to her.
Yeah, who was that you taught?
Next
Great
question.
teacher you are. Great teacher you are. What else did you want to talk about this week? There's some big football games. I mean, that play in that Cowboys game was ridiculous. I think I watched it like 4 times.
Bro, which one? Like there were like
Just the last one.
four
The last
within the
one.
last 5 minutes.
The one with 2 minutes left, where you have a QB sack that's all of a sudden like a 8-yard run. That's all of a sudden a fumble.
Yeah, I know. Mayfield almost gets sacked. Somehow, like, weird looking toss to, I think it was like the tight end or the running back. Makes the grab, runs up the field, and then the Cowboys strip it out of his hands with, like, yeah, like you said, a minute 30 left. And the Cowboys win a game that doesn't matter to them at all because they're already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. But you
Gotta
know
love
who
it, eh?
isn't mathematically eliminated? The Miami Dolphins. We
Really?
still have a chance. We have to win out. And I think we need two teams to both lose one game. I think it's the Bengals and the Broncos.
Oh, that's doable.
It is
Sounds
doable.
doable.
Yep.
I
For
mean,
those of
we're
you
not
that
going
don't
to
know,
do it.
Alex and I are both Miami Dolphins fans. We're Habs
Go
fans,
Dolphins,
we're
go
also
Fins.
Miami Dolphins fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, fins up, baby. Yeah. So that's the NFL for you. But other NHL news. Other
Look,
NHL
this
news. I
Vancouver stuff,
mean,
eh? Have you paid
yeah.
attention to this at all?
I saw Pedersen was in the game for like a period yesterday, got 2 goals, and then got injured. I don't really know what's happening otherwise.
Okay, well, I don't know about the injury, but man, like Elliot Friedman was talking about it too, which makes me question it even more. But there's been a lot of talk that Elias Pettersson and JT Miller just don't get along, and they've not been very friendly to each other, and not been very whatever. And the comment that the media is making is that, at the end of the day, they don't have to love each other, they don't have to play PlayStation with each other, but they need to have a professional relationship, right? Which is fair. The thing I don't see how you can win a Stanley Cup with just professional relationships. Like the thing I love about our team right now is I guarantee you there's any two players on that team, pick any two players in the Montreal Canadiens right now, and they probably have played some kind of game or stay in contact in some way or have like a really good friendship with. Right? Like I think that's true for the whole team. There might be subsections of the team that are better friends and whatever. I guarantee you they all get along with each other. Like very well. Because they're in the same boat, they're in the same mindset, they're brought together by this common vision, and it's that culture that Marty is developing that is going to lead us to be very, very, very competitive in the future, right? We don't quite have the skill, we don't quite have the execution yet, but like that closeness, that culture is what brings you to the Stanley Cup final. It happened with the Edmonton Oilers last year. I think that team had like a tremendous amount of spirit within the locker room, right? But they don't win. I think the difference between the Edmonton Oilers last year and like the Colorado Avalanche when they did, or the Boston Bruins when they did, or the Pittsburgh Penguins when they did, right? Is like you look at those dressing rooms and every single person on those teams are friends. Like they all like each other. They all want to get up in the morning and talk to each other, right? And that leads to good things on the ice.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I don't know the whole scoop about the Pedersen and JT Miller thing, so that's something I got to do a little bit of looking into. But yeah, that definitely has a factor. I mean, if you aren't getting along with your teammates, you aren't going to want to work with them, and if you can't work together in a team sport, you're not going to win games. Which is what has been happening to the Vancouver Canucks. They got a win yesterday against the Sharks, but before that, I think they were on. Yeah, I know. They're on a pretty long losing streak there, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about the Rangers a lot, but like looking at the West, like the Vancouver Canucks have to be that team that you go, wow, like, I mean, what President's Trophy winners last year, and their first wild card spot right now, and like,
Yep.
not like they're blowing it out of the water, right? It's not like they're not inspiring a lot of confidence. Do you know their goal differential right now is 0? Like 0. Like every other team at the top of the West has like a plus goal differential. Colorado's close. Colorado's only +1. But like every other team is like +8, +20, +16. Same thing in the East. Like the Boston Bruins have a terrible, terrible goal differential right now. It's like -14. Every other team is positive. Isn't that funny, eh? The more goals you score, the less goals you let in, the better you are in the standings. It's kind of crazy, eh?
The more you win. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Speaking of goal differential, bro, do you see we're 29th for goals against per game? 3.6 goals a game.
So
We
3.6. Okay, wait. Ready? Let's
we have to get this
calculate this.
goaltending situation figured out, bro.
Let's say quickly that we needed a +10 goal differential right now to be in a playoff spot. Okay, we have a -22 goal differential, so that means you need 32 goals to come up with somehow, right? If Patrick Laine is in the lineup for the beginning of the season, let's add 5. Okay, so 25 that you need, or 27, whatever. If Mike Matheson isn't on the team, that's about 30 goals right there. So then we're +15 in goals. All of a sudden, we're in the playoffs.
Ken Hughes, Marty St. Louis, took a look at this video. This is our professional analysis. This
Brought
is
to you
how
in
we can
part
make the
by
playoffs. The Frozen Forum podcast.
Brought to you in part by Crispus.
Yes.
And this is your what was it in the movie? It's the Angel of... Oh, it's the past, present, and future. But what were they? The spirit of past, the spirit of the past. Here's the spirit of the future coming to you with what will happen if Mike Matheson stays on the team. We will continue to lose games. There you go.
I think that's a pretty fair statement.
I'm pretty sure I still got the reference wrong, but it's fine.
We'll leave it in. But hey, I'm looking at these last 10 games right now for the Habs. We got 6 wins on the board.
Yeah. It's not bad, eh?
Very, very solid. Let's keep it going. We have a really tough game coming up against Florida, but they are Kachuckless.
Hey, a less tough game, man. Yeah, I was gonna say their tough part just got taken away. Shout out to Nikita Kucherov. Yo, if we win that game, we got to shout out Nikita Kucherov for. Hey, whoa! We played Tampa the day after.
Yeah.
If Kucherov gets suspended, man, we could be like both winnable games. We're taking the 2 top. Yeah, and then we play Vegas, which is a hard game. I mean, we were just historically we're terrible against Vegas unless we're in the playoffs.
And Marc-Andre Fleury gives us a nice little gift in game 4.
Yo. Anybody who mentions that and says that's the reason we win game 4, Carey Price gave an equal, whatever you want to call it, to the Vegas Golden Knights earlier that game. The number of goaltender mistakes in that game were equal. 1 Marc-Andre Fleury, 1 for Carey Price. People remember the Marc-Andre Fleury one because that's what led us to win the game. They don't remember the Carey Price one because we still won the game, right? But they cancel out. So if they cancel out, we don't have to worry about it. We won that game fair and square. Didn't need no 100%. Luck or some stupid goaltender bounce to win it. Yeah, but then after...
It was Josh Anderson, too.
It was Josh Anderson, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Okay, so while we're recording this, today is Tuesday. We're going to have the Florida game. We're going to have the game on Sunday. Are we recording Sunday or Monday next week? I don't remember.
I think we said Sunday, but possibly Monday.
Okay, yeah. So we'll capture those 2 games in the podcast next week. Nathan has to move out to France. So that's why we're shifting the schedules around a bit. But yeah.
Yep. It's going to... Just these next 2 weeks, you'll see the episodes come out a little bit differently. You might see some clips on our channels that you won't recognize from a podcast because the podcast might not have even come out yet. But that's all right. It's just these 2 weeks as I make my way to France. And then once I'm there, we'll be right back into the swing of things. So, yeah.
The swing of things. I'm going to start clipping these frozen form flash things out as its own segment and posting them as separate YouTube videos.
I like that idea.
I like it. I like it too. I've been thinking about that. Shout out to the 160-something people who watched our last podcast. That was nice. Please tell me what we 100%. Can do. Please tell me what we need to keep doing. And
the three new subscribers from you that actually subscribed from watching that video. We appreciate that. And YouTube,
we're at what,
thank 44? You YouTube for pushing our video.
We're at what, 44 now?
We're at 44 subscribers.
45. We just got another one. 45.
Really?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going up.
And when we get to 100, we do have a little surprise that we're going to be doing with you guys. You're going to have to stay tuned for that. But at the 100 subscriber point, we'll announce what we're doing.
Yep. Exactly. Almost halfway there. With that, yep. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about.
Nothing really. I think a pretty solid week. Another 2 big wins against 2 what could be beatable Florida teams this upcoming week.
At NHLPA, or at NHL, what's the name? Peros? Isn't it Peros still in that office? In the suspension place?
Shanahan, I thought.
No. It's Shanahan in Detroit, yeah. But it's Peros in the NHL's... What's the department that suspends people? I
thought it was Shanahan's department.
No, I swear George Peros is the guy who, like, I think that's what. Give me a second. Okay. Peros currently serves as the head of the NHL's Department of Player Safety. That's what it's called. The Department of Player Safety. George Peros. Yeah. Former enforcer, by the way. So if anybody wonders why some suspensions aren't as big as they probably should be, it's because Peros is there going, that's what we used to do back in my day, back playing on the Montreal Canadiens. So
Yeah, that's exactly what he sounded like.
Yeah, of course.
Hey,
But
I'm looking at something right now. In January, we play 14 games in January. That is
that's
damn near
nuts.
every other day. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and then how long is the break though for the Four Nations thing?
When is right? That's a 2 week period, February 9th to February 22nd.
Yeah, we play what, two back to backs in January, and then basically, oh no, three back to backs. 3 weekends in a row, we've got two games,
Yep. Pretty
and then
crazy.
just basically every other game day.
Yep, and
Yeah, they
it's
can't play.
not an
Yo,
easy looking schedule.
they cannot look. They cannot put Montembeau out for
No.
all of these games. That will kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although if you don't play, like the thing is, if you don't play Montembeau against Columbus, like or Detroit in a back to back, like who are you putting out there? Like when are you playing him against Chicago? Like maybe Chicago is gonna be the first game. I don't know. I think they gotta bring Dobes up, Dobes or Hughes, one of the two. I liked both of them in preseason.
Or Fowler, if they could somehow do that, that'd
They
be
can't.
nice.
They gotta wait until he graduates or like
That's
finishes
true.
the season. Fowler's a next
Right.
year thing. Don't worry, Nathan. He's coming. I know he's coming, and we're waiting, and we'll be patient. Sort of, maybe not. We're still gonna mention him, but
Yep.
yeah, no, good times.
I
Good
think
times.
yeah, I think that's it for this week though. Yeah. All right, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you all to those of you that have made it to this point in the episode. We really, really do appreciate all of you that watch it. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, hit that bell notification on our video. That really helps us out with YouTube and the algorithm, like we saw last week getting our video pushed. Thank you, YouTube, as well. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure you follow us and give us a 5-star review on Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and those are all of our platforms. Thank you, everyone. Have a happy holidays, everyone. Au revoir. I can't even say bonsoir because it's 11 a.m. But au
But you can
revoir,
say it
everyone.
anyways.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.